Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel as the sound hiccups on me. I'm Almeron. I am playing Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lions, and I'm trying to think about what to talk about while I do so. I mean, I guess I could talk about the plot. Last time, we went up to the Zeklas Desert and met Weegraf, again. Give me just 1 second, I actually want to look up his name. Weegraf. Okay, so it is Weegraf. I think I'd always said Weegraf, but Weegraf actually makes sense. It's W-I-E, so that makes sense for a German spelling, and then the Japanese kana for it is Uigurafu. So I might do a little bit more of that just to make sure I'm saying things properly. I can learn things while I do this, right? Anyway, we met Weegraf. We saw him kill, well, we the audience saw him kill Gustav. He exchanged the Marquis for his own escape. Speaking of Marquis, how do I pronounce Marquis? It is Marquis. And oh, so M-A-R-Q-U-I-S is Marquis. If you add the E on the end, M-A-R-Q-U-I-S-E, it's Marquise. Interesting. I did not know that. The Marquis. Okay, that's I think that's how I initially thought it was pronounced, and probably heard it somewhere. Then somewhere I heard somebody say Marquis, and I thought, well, maybe that's correct. So, oh, okay. So here's another thing. It says the form M-A-R-Q-U-I-S is French in origin, so it's Marquis. The English form is M-A-R-Q-U-E-S-S, and that's what you pronounce Marquis. So, okay, so anyway, a fun journey down pronunciation lane. So, yes, we finished up there, and now we're heading back to, we're going to take the Marquis back to Eagrose. So, random encounter. Yeah, I kind of thought so. Alright, so we get to see another random encounter. So this is something I was kind of wondering about. I guess a general sense of, do people like to see me do random encounters? Should I skip them? Do you want me to just do the whole game from here on camera? Because I'm going to do grinding again at some point. I can't help it. And I worry that that's a bit boring to watch. But if you enjoy it or you want to see more of it, I can include more of it, certainly. I also should point out, it is not too late if you want me to have a character, a generic character named for you in the game. Let's see, I'm at 4 currently. Well, 3 plus Demeter, who was kind of awesome to begin with, but I can get rid of her if I need to. 2 skeletons. I don't like that. But the skeleton is the only... Well... Hang on, let me try to decide what I'm doing, and I'll get back to my thought. Cauldron rack. So Errol isn't going until after everybody. Where's... Did I? Oh shoot. I thought I put Errol in, and apparently it didn't... Oh, you know what? Shoot, I accidentally picked up Cold Run and dropped him in another spot. Well, sorry Errol, I guess you're sitting this one out, and this is going to be an impromptu challenge without my healer. So, let's play defensively. Let's actually make them come up the hill towards us. See if this helps. I usually play more aggressively, but made a mistake there. I was just looking at the turn order thinking, wait, when does Errol get to go? Oh dear. So yeah, barring me forgetting that your character... somehow forgetting to bring your character along like this. I still have Savroom. I'm going to use several special characters rather extensively later in the game, but there is also a particular spot that generics are the only ones who can do it, and I do want to show that off a lot as well. And that happens in teams of 3. So I have 3 named generics after friends, and then I've got 1 generic who was good from the beginning, and then I've got 3 more showing up at chapter 2, and then after that it's all special characters, named people. So the point of that is that if you, a viewer or friend, would like me to include you, I am more than happy to do so. And it's never going to be too late. The only thing is how much effort I have to put into grinding you up to the same level as the rest of the party. And as I say, I actually enjoy grinding in this game. Sometimes it can be time consuming, but it's kind of like, it's one of those things that are... Mundane is the only word that's coming into my head, but that's not what I mean. It's one of those things that I can do without really thinking about it too much most of the time, although apparently I should think about it a little bit harder so I don't forget people. Sorry, I'm not going to let myself go on that one. And, so it's just a nice thing for me to do, just for fun. That was really good. That was like 2 shots. It was 37 damage. He hit 62. Yeah, so it was 2 shots. That was pretty good. Nice job, Cold Run. Okay. Tap, 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 tap. I guess the other thing I could the other question I have is, I'm not great at coming up with topics to talk about, so if you have something you'd like to hear my thoughts on, let me know and I'll try to chat about it, I suppose, on these videos when there's not story going on. When it's a random encounter like this. It's a random encounter. There's not a lot going on in the story to talk about really at this point. So I suppose that's not entirely true. There is I could talk about the background of the story. We had that 50 Years War, and it looks like the Corpse Brigade we're fighting now was basically a group of peasants, volunteers who fought on the side of Evil East, but when the war was over, they were basically just kicked out. The nobility said, "Yeah, you did what we wanted you to do. Now we don't care about you anymore." And that understandably got them pretty upset. Let's see if this works. And so a good number of them have taken to. I mean, they've learned how to fight. They've got weaponry. They can go back to being destitute, or they can try to take stuff from people who have more than them. And I can't really blame them when they were not paid for what they did to keep Evilise intact. This might be getting a hint of my own personal politics into things, but also on this. This is a very political game. I'll say that. At least at this point, it's very political. It'll still be for a while. More of the music going weird. Rack's just gonna stand there and shoot people. For now. So that's kind of the situation we get dumped in. Ramza and Delita. Ramza's a son of a noble family and high up in the aristocracy. His dad was like big name knight guy in the 50 Years' War. Like, sounds like basically won the Evilise some fights and. Let's do thunder. Bombs are sometimes. I can never remember what games they're in, where you think, oh yeah, it's a bomb. It's kind of a fire type enemy, so it likes fire, but also, but then sometimes they also like ice for some reason. So you try to go for like an elemental weakness and it doesn't work. And so I never remember which Final Fantasy game that happens in, or if I'm making it up. I mean, you never know. And so I have a tendency to hit bombs with thunder. Ah, just out of range. You jerk. I'm shouting at him for being out of range. Oh, shoot! Didn't come close enough. That's okay. You can still help. You can get Demeta back up to good hit points. So what was I saying? I'm going to complain briefly. These guys have that ranged, this thing, Thunder Anima, which is really annoying because it hits from so far away. That's, do not take their melee attacks lightly, because that knife hand hits really hard. Oh, goodness. And game over, man. Oh, no. Alright, Cold Run, get closer so we can Phoenix Stand Ramza if we need to. I'm not... Oh, wow. You're really growing into that black magic there. I'm not super concerned. I'm pretty sure I can finish this last guy off before Ramza counts down. Like 100% sure that I can do that. Yeah. See, 100%. There we go. So, yeah, Ramza's at the academy. He's pretty young. He's just getting out of, like, learning how to be a knight kind of deal. And they get thrown up against this corpse brigade of ex-soldiers who are like, yeah, we're gonna take a piece of what's been denied to us. and led by this guy Wigriff, who we just saw in the desert, who was very upset about Gustav's kidnapping and the ransom attempt, and he's like, this is not how we do things, we need to do better. And Gustav's like, your ideals and ambitions like that are not going to put food on the table for us, and we're sacrificing a lot here, and they're going to kill us because they're better trained and better equipped. Wigriff has some ideas about like changing the aristocracy, so that he said the crown has strayed, I think was his words. So he wants the monarchy and the aristocracy to go back towards probably a more egalitarian tact. Yeah, so random encounters. Alright, we're not going to forget Errol this time, right? Right. Sorry, Errol. I'm so sorry. So, Ramza has two companions at this point. Argith, who is son of a disgraced noble household. His grandfather turned traitor during the 50 Years' War at some point, and his house was disgraced for that. So he's kind of at the lower end of the aristocracy. And Delita, who is Ramza's childhood friend, but is like a commoner, basically, that Ramza's family had adopted into their... Not like into their family, but like brought on to be like companions or something. So it's... And you're already seeing a bit of this, how Argith and Delita have very different approaches to how things are going right now. Can you guess where that's going to lead? I do not like this, that they've... Oh, man. I don't want to put... Harold's got only 59 hit points. It's not a lot. If I put Errol here, the Panther will hit her. Can she go here and stab them? I'm going to try this. Yeah! Alright, that worked. So the Panther will probably hit her. But I didn't want to leave her here because then the Chocobo back there could come up and start hitting her in the back. Is there a goblin? I bet that's a goblin. Yeah, from this position, Rack is just going to shoot Cold Run in the back if they tried to shoot the Chocobo. And this is probably a questionable shot. So... Cold Run's still blocking the Chocobo in. Okay, so let's go ahead and move Rack out front, give another target for the incoming Chocobo, who we can't shoot. Not quite. That's okay. Rack will move sooner on the next turn then. So, let's see, what's your charge time now? Just 2? Oh, and Rack is the one who goes. Well then. Hit the chocobo. That'll save me a lot of trouble. It's a goblin. So this isn't a very big enemy force. Yeah. Sorry, Chocobo, I shot you in the face. But to be fair, you're trying to kill me, so. Alright, now if I move Demeta over here, that'll block the Chocobo off from Cauldron and Errol. Doesn't even counter. That's just gravy, I guess. Errol and Ramza. So let's have Errol hit it from the back. We'll see if I can finish this off before it moves again. Not a potion. Do not potion the Chocobo. The Chocobo can cure itself already. Yeah, job level. This is Nomio, so this one does not go next. Okay, so I'm actually going to hold off on having Ramza kill it because he's about to hit level 9, and somebody else could use the experience. See, hitting an enemy gets you experience, but killing an enemy gets you a bonus. Alright, but I couldn't quite move fast enough to finish it off because Cauldron's magic is now going to take too long. Oh well, worth a shot. Yep, they tend to do this if you let them go. Well, 27's not too bad. I think Ramza's gonna start hitting the goblin. That Iron Sword's doing wonders for him. And then I'm going to have the others try to take out the Chocobo again. And Demeta can't quite reach the Chocobo now. They move so fast, they move so far. Alright, well, Errol come in and guard Demeta's back and Rax's side and go ahead and potion up our friend here. Doesn't really need it, but Errol could use the experience. So normally when I play this game, I basically try to limit how many characters I'm taking, because it's easier to keep a smaller party up to snuff on their levels. But you know, this is a Let's Play, so why not? I'll play as many people as I can throughout the game. It's not like I'm gonna lack for random encounters. The game itself, the story itself, is relatively short. I mean, I say that. It's from the day when Final Fantasy VII first came out on 3 discs to cover the whole story. And this came out on a single disc. Right, I was gonna... Oh well. Interesting thing about this game, the experience does not carry over to your next level if you get more than enough to level you up. It always resets to 0. So, something you can keep an eye on if you're trying to be efficient at level grinding is making sure that your people don't, like, if they have 5 more experience to go, they can just, like, hit somebody but not kill them, because you want somebody else to kill them, because that's more experience, who has room for the more experience. But yeah, so this was a single disc back in the day, and they haven't added any story or anything to this. There's a few extra stages and a few extra events. There's one extra event I can think of, and I think there's probably more than that, but there's not a lot added. Sorry about the music. There's not a lot added to this from the original version. There's two. There's two extra jobs that weren't in the original version. One of which is relatively easy to unlock, but you have to master it for it to be any good. And the other one is very hard to unlock. And by very hard, I mean you have to master Knight, you have to master Black Mage, you have to get your job level to 8 in Dragoon, Ninja, Samurai, and Geomancer. And you have to have 20 kills. This isn't knockouts, this is kills. They land the final blow, and that enemy turns into a crystal or a treasure chest. That's for the Dark Knight class, which is pretty powerful. But if you want to get there, it's a long slog. I will definitely be doing it this playthrough, but probably only for 1 or 2 characters. It's a lot. What madness possessed you that you would abandon your posts to traipse about the desert? Silence is not the answer I seek. Speak and be quick with it. 'Twas I forced Ramza to go. Was that the way of it, Ramza? Delita led your better judgment astray? No, I went of my own choosing. The fault lies not with him. 'Tis Ramza's noble disposition that guides his tongue, my lord. It is not as he... You needn't be false on my behalf, Delita. It was I who chose to disregard orders. Might I pose a question, Ramza? What purpose do laws serve when even those who would enforce them choose not to pay them heed? Adherence to the rule of law is a knight's solemn duty. It falls upon us, as Beowulfs, to bear the burden of example. Is your intention to live up to your name, or to drag it with you through the mire? Forgive me, Lord Brother. I believe the point is made, is it not, Dicedarg? You must not let the how of it steal your eyes away from the what. Their rescue of the Marquis was no small feat. It is the way of young men to be impetuous in their haste to do great things. We were not unlike them once. To coddle them is to do them disservice, your grace. They need learn integrity. Duke Larg. So, you are Lord Dicedarg's younger brother. Rise, son of Galleon. Indeed, you are the very ghost of Barbaneth. His fire burns in your eyes, I can see it. Such strength and vitality would be wasted atop castle walls. Our campaign against the Corpse Brigade draws near its end. I will permit you to join in the final stage. Coordinated strikes are to be made on a number of their dens ere long. You will lead one of those assaults. Very well, Lord Brother. My apologies, Your Grace. It was not of your doing, Dicedarg. In truth, it serves only to show the caliber of man we are dealing with in Gustav. A change in plans was inevitable once the fool went and staged the kidnapping within our very borders. And let us not forget, they did save the Marquis's life. He will now be honor-bound to acquiesce. In the end, your brother's deeds have placed us in quite the favorable position. The king's life hangs by a thread. We must move quickly now. Indeed, my dear friend. I trust you will not fail me. Dun dun dun. What's this? Dicedarg and Duke Larg were behind the kidnapping? So, as I said, politics. Something's going on. As we go, we're going to find out what. Perhaps not behind it, perhaps that's ungenerous, but definitely instigators. How much is this going to cost? Oh, that's not bad. Yes. More stuff. The castle doesn't sell much for people who aren't knights, basically. They've got the heavy armor and the big swords. Ooh, longbow. Okay, so yeah, you don't have to wait. I like the longbow better than the bowgun, just because it's got the arc, so you can actually shoot over your friends' heads instead of into their backs when you're standing behind them. So it makes the this makes the archer more of a parabolic support. What am I trying to say? Artillery-like. More like an artillery in some other strategic games where you can fire over things to get the enemy without them being able to get back at you. So I'm definitely going to buy one. Rack may not stay an archer for much longer, but... Yep, nothing new there. Yeah, why not? And you... Yeah, I suppose. Try not to get yourself killed next time. So... What did we get? We got new shields, bucklers, instead of escutcheons. So I'm going to sell 3 of those, because that's going to be the 3 replace. I'll hold on to one in case we want it. I'm going to sell 1 bowgun, but I'll keep the other one just in case. The longswords, we've got 3 longswords, or 3 iron swords. That's basically better than the longsword, but I'll keep 2 just in case I want them. And the mithril knife has definitely been outdone by the blind knife. Bronze helm, plus 20 hit points. Iron helm, plus 30 hit points, straight improvement. No. Sell that one. Sell the better one that I just spent money on for half the price. No, let's not do that. And again, plus 20 versus plus 30. So yeah, straight upgrade. There's probably upgrades to the clothing as well, but I'd have to go back to Garland. And I'm not going to... I'm probably going to end this shortly, but just wanted to go through a few things there. And exactly 250. Learn run speed. Cauldron's got some more experience. Is there anything with... Oh, the Aura spells are starting to open up. I think Blizzara, because I know goblins are weak. I say I know. I am 90% certain that goblins are weak to ice in this game. But I would have to look it up to be certain of that. Sure, learn a knight skill. Why not? You're going down the magic path, but maybe you can be a dark knight. It's not my current plan, but if you want to, go for it. Rack. There we go. Thief unlocks at job level 3 archer. There is something I think that requires job level 4 archer, so I do think I'm going to keep Rack and archer for another job level at least. But Thief, Steel Gill is fantastic for leveling because you don't do any damage to the enemy and you get money out of it. But the real prize for me is move +2. Extra mobility. Poach is fun. It's not going to come into... There's nothing to do with it at this stage in the game, but it is something that will get me some really good stuff later on. So I will show you poaching when the time is right. Vigilance is like raises defense. This lets you get money when you get hurt. And so throw is specifically a ninja ability, so it's not going to be a thing that we'll even see for a long time. But there is a point in the game when you get to a certain level that random encounters might throw enemy ninjas at you, and they can throw some rare items. I only know this because I've read a guide. I don't know. I mean, unless you just walked around, did all the random encounters up to like level 99 just to see what would happen. It's not hugely important or anything, so I probably won't worry about it too much, but, you know, it's there. The steel heart is basically charm. Puts charm on them. It only is effective against people of the opposite gender. So if you're a woman thief, you can charm men thieves, and men thieves can charm women thieves, but it does not work on the same gender as far as I know, unless they change that in this edition, which would be great, but they had some binary stuff going on back, in this game when they made it. Something that, if they remade it, I would like to see changed. Steel helm, steel armor, steel shield, steel weapons, steel accessory, those are all pretty straightforward. They used to be you wanted to have at least one thief who had all of those, or two thieves who had all of those between them, because there was one boss in the game that you could steal the Genji armor from, and that's the only way you could get it, and it's really good armor. Also, it's really fun just to steal all the equipment off of your enemies and leave them wandering around with nothing. But that particular boss that you used to steal the Genji armor from, in this edition of the game, he's immune to being stolen from, so you can't do it that way. Which is sad, because it was fun. I liked that, but it is what it is. Archer, that's not quite enough. Yeah, 450 for Archer's Bane. Archer's Bane is fun when there's enemy archers, because basically you put it on and they just can't hit you. You always dodge. Well, 70% of the time Rack would dodge. I'll say that. Going a little long today, but I kind of feel like going through some of this, so I'm still gonna leave Errol until well, maybe it's time to switch Errol. Trying to think. You know what? I'm gonna have Errol learn Echo Herbs, because nobody knows that one yet, and she has just enough JP for it. That's Echo Herbs Cure Silence, and if I make her a mage, that's gonna be right. If your mage gets silenced, they can't cast magic. So being able to use the Echo Herbs item on yourself is really handy. Okay, so now that Errol has done all that, I forgot I taught her parry and didn't assign it. Let's go to Cold Run. We're going to change Cold Run. Light Mage? We could move on. Let's move on with Cold Run. Let's move on to Mystic. That's the, you unlock 3 job levels of White Mage, you get Mystic. It was Oracle in the original game, so if I say Oracle, I mean Mystic. And if I say Mystic, I mean Oracle. But, so that's that. Oh yeah, if you go into the jobs page, it'll actually show you how you unlock the job, as long as you've already unlocked it once. So let's make Errol, not help, no, back, cancel, menu, and then we're going to make Errol Black Mage, because I know Errol, and Errol wants to be a Black Mage. Now, unfortunately, Errol won't have a rod, because Mystic Cauldron is currently using the only one I have, and again, I have to go to Garland to get another one of those, so I might make a quick stop over in Garland, see if I can get through without a random encounter. But I'm not going to do it this session because I'm already going on 40 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I hope you enjoyed the video and did not mind my rambling. Again, if you would like me to talk about any particular topic, I'll see what I can think of. Just let me know. And if you enjoy it, please let me know, and if you think there's anything I should change to make it better, again, I'm learning how to do this. I've watched other Let's Players, and I'm trying to imitate without copying, I would say. Trying to be myself, but also learn from them. So, that said, I would still take any tips you might have for how to do this better, so that you will enjoy it more. And with all that said, I'm going to call it here. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you later.